Hello everyone and welcome to today's webcast, which is a little different from our typical webcast. Today we are celebrating BioSurfaces' 20th anniversary. The company has come a long way from when Matthew and Tina Phaneuf opened the doors to the company on April 26, 2003. While there have been many ups and downs over the company's history, one thing has not changed, and that is the promise of BioSurfaces' proprietary electrospinning technology. It is hard to capture all the different events that have occurred, so we figured we would share some of the highlights over the last 20 years. We will also look into getting some insights into the future from the people behind the scenes of the company's success, our BioSurfaces team. Matt began his career in vascular surgery research at what is now Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center in Boston, Massachusetts. Over a 12-year period, Matt learned firsthand all of the issues related to using medical materials in patients. During this time, Matt believed that there needed to be a significant improvement in how medical materials interacted within the body. Unfortunately, all the materials being used in medical devices were all made the same way, and even if there were changes, they were incremental at best. One day, Matt attended a meeting at UMass Dartmouth that was focused on developing new material constructs for chemical warfare suits for soldiers using a technology called electrospinning. Matt started to think that these small fibers matched the natural fibers that the body used to grow cells on. He thought this type of technology could be used in the medical device field to potentially help heal these devices better once they are implanted into the body. This led to Matt writing a grant proposal around the idea, which would be the foundation behind forming BioSurfaces. It was a big undertaking for two scientists who had never ever dreamed of opening a business, let alone a life science company. So why did they decide to pursue this venture? As Matt and Tina like to say, using a quote from one of their favorite movies, full of hope, full of promise, ignorant of reality. Matt figured that the company would only last a year or two, so he would be okay with that since it would have shortened his commuting time from an hour and a half each way to 5 minutes each way. BioSurfaces then secured a lease for a 1,500 square foot space on the third floor of an office building in downtown Ashland behind a local pub called Johnstone's Inn. Our first electrospinning unit was designed in this building. That electrospinning unit has come a long way from where it was then, because back then, that first electrospinning unit was designed from a Sears Hardware plastic container, some Legos from the Sears Hardware children's section, a mixer, and a power supply. The space was perfect for what BioSurfaces needed then, but as progress was made, it became very cluttered. Still, it had all the necessities to view and examine our material, as well as a tiny little area to put your lunch. Over the next 7 years, BioSurfaces continued to win government grants and contracts that allowed the company to grow in areas such as artificial arteries, sutures, new biomaterial designs, and wound dressings. We were starting to grow and needed more space, and as luck would have it, less than a half mile down the road, Matt and Tina found another space that needed a lot of work but had potential. As shown in the pictures in the background, you can see where the place was to where it is now. Matt and Tina added another hat onto their head and became the general contractor to reconfigure the space. That was likely the hardest of all jobs they had, but they were able to build out the space and take it from an old open factory floor plan to a life sciences space. This 6,700 square foot space is where the company is located today. Although it took a lot of time to get where it is today, it was all worth it in the end. BioSurfaces hit an inflection point in 2013 where grant funding was starting to become harder to get. In addition, the company had generated a significant amount of data in many different areas. It was time to focus and try to build out specific products. The first product of many to be made through the electrospinning process was the NuSpun vascular graft. This graft that started on the benchtop side eventually made its way through different preclinical trials which proved that our material was superior to the standard PTFE. As you can see in the background, we are showing a comparison between the PTFE graft and our NuSpun vascular graft. Due to the success of these studies, we approached the Small Business Development Center, or the SBDC, at Cork University to help us develop a plan to market the technology forward. During this time, BioSurfaces was looking to move the graft forward through investor pitches. Matt met Vincent Ling from Takeda. Takeda had no interest in our NuSpun graft, but Vincent was really impressed with the healing of our material. BioSurfaces worked on some small initial proof of concept studies which confirmed our findings. This would lead BioSurfaces to secure a research and development collaboration deal with Takeda in 2017 to develop 3 different devices over a 3-year period. BioSurfaces successfully developed a perianal fistula plug, a drug-eluting gastrointestinal sheath, and a biospun cell chamber, with all 3 devices having excellent preclinical data. Even with Takeda's interest in developing gastrointestinal devices, the company still believed that its first technology, the NuSpun vascular graft, had promise. Unfortunately, grant funding in this area was hard to come by, and potential partners wanted more data, so progress on the NuSpun graft was limited. In 2018, BioSurfaces decided to reach out to private investors for the first time to see if it could raise funding to advance this technology, as well as to begin to grow the company. The company was fortunate to have an excellent advisory group that had several private individuals that were interested in investing. Their investment allowed the company to significantly advance the NuSpun graft through extended preclinical studies as well as to execute on its business plan. These investors are still an important part of the BioSurfaces family and continue to believe in the vision of the company, even investing again in 2022. The pandemic struck hard in 2020 and was the undoing of many businesses. Our Takeda contract was coming to an end, but a new need for our biospun scaffold emerged. The National Institutes of Health reached out to BioSurfaces to evaluate if our materials could be used to develop lung tissue that could be used as a test for the coronavirus infection. This led to a co-development program to develop a process for securing our biospun scaffolds onto the bottom of existing plastic plates. This led to the development of the product line that we refer to now as the IVRT program or the in vitro research tools. From 2019 to current date, BioSurfaces has perfected its process so the consistency of these biospun materials sits properly on the bottom of the plate. This can allow for more accurate and consistent testing that meets what the end user needs. To date, BioSurfaces has a variety of different customers that are based all around the globe, and they continue to grow their customer base. The company's IVRT product offerings continue to grow, with the biospun scaffold being evaluated for other related areas. The final highlight came in November of 2022, where BioSurfaces received a strategic investment from Saint-Gobain. Saint-Gobain, if you are not aware, is a massive 358-year-old French company with technology in many different areas such as building materials, ceramics, tubing, and connectors, along with many other products. Saint-Gobain was interested in BioSurfaces materials and truly expanding their already massive catalog. BioSurfaces provides Saint-Gobain with the potential for developing new and innovative products in different markets. That now brings us to today, where we are celebrating the 20th year for BioSurfaces, which is not only a huge milestone, but is truly another inflection point for BioSurfaces as it starts to move towards growing the business and bringing its technology to consumers and patients. What does the future hold for the company? Matt and Tina would say you need to ask their biggest assets, which are its team members. So here are their thoughts.
It's been a lot of fun working on the in vitro research tool products, and I'm really happy to see that this segment of the company is gaining a lot of traction and momentum. And I'm really excited to be part of the cell therapy products development. The BioSpun implantable cell chamber in particular has great potential to benefit patients suffering from type 1 diabetes and other chronic diseases.
First off, I'd like to congratulate Matt and Tina for 20 successful years of building BioSurfaces and for developing their BioSpun product line. As a scientist, I have had the opportunity here to work on both the vascular grafts and now the current projects focusing on cell chambers as cell therapy delivery devices. Patients need new and better solutions than what's currently out there, and so I look forward to being part of the team that brings our BioSpun medical devices into the clinic and into the hands of surgeons to help our patients.
I'm really excited to be part of the cutting edge research on the IVRT tools and the cell therapy products. The best part is that these can be customized for many different applications. I would really love to see the IVRT tools reach to more customers and the BioSpun cell chambers and the NuVascular graft being implanted into humans someday.
I want to see the cell chamber implanted in patients who need it because it's what I've been working on for the past 5 years and what I will continue to work on until that goal is reached.
I'm looking forward to keep working on in vitro research tools and the cell chamber and making additional modifications and new iterations of those projects.
So I've been working with Matt, Tina, and the BioSurfaces team for almost 9 years now. It's been great to see the success they made over those years, and I really look forward to their continued success.
I'd like to see a BioSurfaces product positively impact someone's life in the next couple years.
I would like to see a major company working on diseases of the central nervous system use our cell chamber to enable a new treatment of a central nervous system disease.
When I started here 5 years ago, I was one of 4 employees, so to see where the company is now is pretty incredible. I'm very excited to see what the future holds for BioSurfaces with all the different programs that everyone is working on. From the cell chamber and IVRT to other medical devices like the vascular graft and the fistula plug, all of the growth in the technology from the last 20 years and all of the hard work that both past and present employees have put in have set BioSurfaces up for a very exciting future.
I've been lucky enough to have been around the company since its inception in 2003, and seeing the progress of where the BioSpin scaffold was to where it is now is truly remarkable. The amount of product lines we have is just insane to think about where it was to where it has been now, and going through and editing this video and seeing the timeline of how it all started is truly insane, and it's a big happy birthday to BioSurfaces for its 20th, and a big congratulations to not only the BioSurfaces team but to Matthew and Tina Phaneuf on 20 years of being a small business owner, which is an incredible feat, and I look forward to helping progress the different products forward into human trials and truly just developing a market for all these different products. We have about 96 different countries from which viewers have viewed our website, and it's just crazy to think of where we were to where we are now, and I look forward to helping have that number continue to go up, and I look forward to the future.
BioSurfaces has been fortunate to work and interact with a lot of great people for the past 20 years.
Our goal has been to always give back to the community in some small way. From inception of the company, BioSurfaces has been involved with training the next generation workforce. Many of our interns have gone on to careers in science, engineering, teaching, and healthcare. A couple of them have gone on to start their own business.
We've worked with students of all ages, from elementary through high school and into their career forming years in college. We've met with local, state, and federal leaders who look to help move this small company forward one step at a time. We're even fortunate enough to win the Small Business Micro Enterprise of the Year at one point. Through it all, it has always been about the people that make BioSurfaces what it is. Our ultimate goal is to have our technology helping people in their everyday lives, either directly or indirectly. It is what keeps us driving forward.
Happy 20th to us.
And many more.